Earth really is beautiful. I love this planet. It is good, isn't it? Ah! What are you doing? Sitting on a bench. That's it! There's too many people on this planet! I can go sit over there if you like. No, you've ruined it now. You're all up in my personal space. This planet is overpopulated. I'm moving to Mars. That's a bit drastic, isn't it? Mars!
It is the year, the future. Planet Earth is getting really crowded from all the people. The world government has offered generous financial incentives to anyone who helps with the terraforming of Mars, which will result in a habitable planet for our descendants.
You know, I can get behind the spaceships and the terraforming, but the idea of a government being motivated by the needs of future generations? I don't know, it's a bit far-fetched, isn't it? So how does one terraform Mars? Well, we've sent an intrepid explorer up to Mars to find out what needs doing. Looks like you're having trouble breathing. The first thing we'll need to do is raise the oxygen on the oxygen track here. Oh, that's better. I can breathe now. The next thing we'll need to do is raise the temperature. Now that you mention it, it is a bit nippy. Yes, in fact, actually, I think I'm dying. The temperature is marked on this track here. Oh, that's better. The last thing we'll need to do is place all 9 of these ocean tiles. Are you sure we need the oceans? This is fine. No, we definitely need the oceans.
Oh, this is so much better! I'm so glad we added oceans!
Once the oxygen and temperature are raised and all 9 ocean tiles are placed, Mars is considered terraformed and habitable, and the end of the game is triggered.
I'm not having fun!
This is a board game. It's not supposed to be fun. The game of terraforming Mars takes place over many generations. Of course, by the final generation, you'll be long gone, but your children's 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 children will be reaping the rewards of your early game exploits. There's an old proverb that a society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. Many years ago, I planted this tree. I should like to sit in its shade. Piss off, old man, I'm sitting here. Fair enough. Each generation is split into phases. During the research phase, you will receive 4 cards. You may or may not do a draft around the table depending on the variant you're playing, but you'll always end up with 4. And of those 4, you will have the option to purchase any cards you want for 3 credits each. Now that might not sound like much, but you'll need to hold some money back to actually play the cards later on. One of the really nice things about Terraforming Mars is there's no hand limit, meaning you can amass a redonkulous hand of cards throughout the game. You can hold on to cards from the first generation only to finally play them in the final generation. Many generations ago, my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather developed these plans, and I'm proud to say that today we finally have the resources to build Mars's very first ethnic cleansing center. Jesus Christ, Grandad! The deck is made of 208 unique cards. Each card represents some kind of cool futuristic sci-fi project. Cards like this giant space mirror, this robotic workforce, these radiation suits. I'm playing these rad suits. Well, I'm playing rad suits. This deck of cards really is the heart of Terraforming Mars. There is so much personality, creativity, and humour that has gone into the creation of this deck. And sure, you've got a few bland cards like a power plant or a mine, but then you've got cards like hired raiders or a tropical resort. You've got cards like bribing the committee. You can rear livestock on Mars. You can bring your pets to Mars. You can release some bears just for the lols. And then you've got cards that in a game set on Earth would be entirely forgettable. But there's something about planting heather or grass on the surface of Mars that's exciting, because that's not supposed to be there. We're playing God. We're terraforming Mars. Each card comes with a little flavour text at the bottom that, according to the rulebook, lets you get a feeling for what the card does in reality. So apparently this card coordinates orbital traffic. Quantum extractors, mass converters. You know, as cool as all this sci-fi tech is, I can't help but feel maybe it's a little naive, a little kind of retro. I mean, is the future really going to look like this? Or is it going to look a bit more like NFTs, 10,000 likes on social media? Everything is AI now. Dear God, no, 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 dear God, please God, no. The action phase is the main part of Terraforming Mars, where players will take turns doing 1 or 2 actions. The most common action is playing a card from your hand, but there are also actions upon played cards, and then there are standard projects. Standard projects like buying a power plant. Standard. Buying an ocean. Standard. Throwing an asteroid at Mars to raise the temperature. Standard. What, you don't think that's standard? What, you use central heating? Nah mate, throw an asteroid at a planet, that's how you raise the temperature. It's totally normal. Wait, is that normal? It says here the temperature would go down. Well, at least we know it's a safe, sensible thing to do, right? I mean, Well, I mean, that can't be right, because if that was correct, then these two on the box, they wouldn't be happily terraforming, they'd be running and screaming and panicking. I think they might be dead. Other standard projects include planting greenery and building cities. Over the course of the game, players will be placing city tiles, a few special tiles, and greenery tiles. There's something really satisfying about watching this barren rock of a board start to turn green and blue, looking far more like a place we could call home. It's a collective effort, but certainly not a cooperative one, as players will be placing their cities and greenery tactically to optimize their scores. You see, a city tile scores 1 point for every greenery tile it is adjacent to. So if you've got a nice spot of greenery, you can pop your city down and oh, it looks like Twatface over there built a city there first. Hello. Well, never mind. I've got a spot here where I've got 2 cities. I could put some greenery between them and oh, it looks like Twatface built a commercial district between my 2 cities. Don't mind me. You know, I'm starting not to like Twatface very much. I'm also playing this card, you lose 8 plants. Sorry! Another action that players can take is funding milestones or funding awards. When a player hits a certain criteria, they can pay 8 credits for a milestone, netting them 5 victory points. It might be a 35 or higher terraforming rating, having 3 cities, 3 greeneries, 8 buildings, or 16 cards in their hand. The committee would like to recognise the milestones that have been achieved. Player 1, you've built 3 cities. Player 2, you've built 8 buildings. Is that really the same as what I did? I mean, I built 3 cities. Each one of those cities has way more than 8 buildings. And player 3, you've not built anything yet, but you've thought about building things 16 times in fact. Oh, come on, surely he should actually have to build something before getting any recognition. All equally valid achievements. I'm probably not even going to build most of these, to be honest. The milestones work well, particularly in the early game, to just nudge players in a particular direction and help them form a strategy. Only 3 of the 5 milestones can be claimed, so you're going to need to get on with doing something before all those points get snapped up. Over here we've got the awards. Again, hit a certain criteria, get some points, but these ones get sequentially more pricey. The difference with awards is that they don't score until the end of the game, and it's relative to the other players. So at the time of funding an award, you might be winning, but by the end of the game, you might not. So you're not going to want to fund an award unless you're fairly confident you're going to win. But if you hold off too long on funding it, the price is going to go up. So there's a good risk-reward thing going on. So if you're good at something, you can just fund an award. Maybe I should do that. Hello, is this the awards people? Yes, I'd like to fund an award, please. Funniest board game video creator. Yeah, great, thank you. And the award for funniest board game video creator goes to... Shut up and sit down! But This is my video! During the production phase, you'll collect resources which you'll store on your individual player mat. Each spot on the mat holds a different resource type. This is where money goes, this is where steel goes, this is where titanium goes, this is where plants go, this is where energy goes, and this is where heat goes. Quantities of resources are tracked with these delightful shiny cubes. That is far more practical, and you'll use your player-coloured cubes to mark where your production is. It's a very good system and definitely not one where the entire game can be ruined at the slightest slip of a hand. The different resources on your player mat all have different functions that make logical and thematic sense. There's something about collecting these shiny cubes that just feels good. It feels right. You'll feel like some kind of futuristic magpie going after your shiny, my shiny, shiny. Ah! I don't know what noise magpies make. Speaking of, who are we playing as in this game? You'll be taking control of one of 12 mega corporations. Each corporation has a name and an ability that adds just a little bit of asymmetry to the game. Take Helion, for example, who have the very useful ability to use heat as money. Hello, we're collecting money to help support the victims of reckless asteroid abuse. Anything you can spare would be greatly appreciated.
You want money? Well, you're in luck. I'm actually from the Helion Corporation. Don't spend it all in one place.
Each corporation also has just a little bit of flavor text to give you an idea of who you're playing as. Let's take a look at Credicor. Multi-billionaire bard hunter likes terraforming, especially when it involves hurling asteroids at Mars. I bet particularly when it's at music venues on Mars. Because his name was Bard Hunter. Is this a joke? I made a joke. This is why Shut Up and Sit Down won the award, isn't it? We've got Interplanetary Cinematics, who initiated the colonization of Mars by turning the process into a soap opera.
I'm going to build a city here.
You can't build a city there, you muppet!
Why not?
Because that's not Mars! That's Mars's evil twin! Smars!
Not Smars! I thought you died in that spaceship crash!
You only thought that because you had amnesia.
I don't remember having amnesia.
Also, I'm pregnant with your babies.
But that's not possible, because I'm a robot!
Even if you weren't a robot, that still wouldn't be possible! This is the future that Interplanetary Cinematics wants. Terraforming Mars is an exciting, dynamic, intelligent game that offers players multiple paths to victory and a lot of replayability. I declare it an awesome board game. We really did it. We terraformed Mars. It looks so much like Earth now, doesn't it?
Ah, who are you? That's it. This planet is overpopulated. I'm moving to Jupiter.
Please like, comment and subscribe!